Back out at the major project, Chandler Concrete has been dropping off block. As you can see, it is a lot of block. They left the little machine out here. They're making a couple trips a day. So yeah, this is after this should be 3 deliveries. So we got 2 more to go. And I think we'll probably still end up ordering a little bit more. We'll see how it works out. This is pretty close. Boundary surveying came back out yesterday, pinned our corners. There's one spot in the game room which we knew that we've got to, once we build that wall for the bowling alley, we're gonna pour to that, and to finish off that little corner, we'll have to epoxy and some rebar, but it's not a big deal. These are for piers down here through the middle. Something I get comments on is about the roughness of footings. And Mrs. Beelagood said, hey, you know, not everybody knows what footings are. She didn't know what they were, so maybe she should explain a little more. So as you would think, this is what the house stands on, hence the name footing. You know, you dig your trench, and depending on where you're at in the country, whatever your frost line is, your footing has to be, the bottom of your footing has to be lower than that. Otherwise the ground will move and it cracks it up and heaves it and does all kinds of nasty stuff that you don't want to happen. Here, we don't really have much for frost lines, like 8 inches or something in most areas, some 12. Very easy on us here as far as footings go. That's why in the north, most people have basements, and in the south, you don't see them as much because you're already having to dig so far down, like, hey, I might as well put a basement in. Then, the reason you leave it rough is you're gonna take this block and come in, and you're going to take your mortar and adhere that to that. So you want adhere it to the concrete you already poured for your footing. So you want a rough surface for that adhesion. You don't want it smooth like you would a patio or, you know, garage floor, that kind of thing. So that's why it's left rough like that. And so you have the survey companies pin your corners, and then we dig like you saw in the other videos, and then they come back and they pin for the block. And you get some surface cracking, which is no big deal. That's just where it dried faster on top. It's in the ground. It just moves a little. But we put plenty of rebar in this. And yeah, so they'll come in, and that's where the block will set. And that represents the outer corners of the house as you go around. So you get that done. And then in this case, he's getting stone, and it sits on this side of the block, of course. And you come on up, whatever's specified. In this case, we're gonna be 40 inches above ground level. And we'll come back out here with the Graco sprayer, like you saw me use on my house. And we'll spray the waterproofing all the way around and lay in pipe and gravel on the outside with the rock, but we'll drain, in this case, we'll drain to daylight because it slopes off in the back. So all the drains for this will go out the back, and we'll typically tie the gutters and everything into that also and bury those and run them away from the house. So you want to get water away from the house as much as possible because water is your enemy. So the more water that's not around the house, the better. And then there's final grade and all kinds of stuff. That's the general idea of what's next. We'll either get a dingo or the guys will have to come in and hand shovel this, but once it's in, some of this dirt can go back around the piers because this won't be a solid wall. Like the reason this kicks over is this is a bigger pier because we got a piece of steel here. You know, it's all about what the weight of your house is gonna sit on, which is why the type of dirt you're building on, like we were at the beach, we'd be driving pilings down in the ground. It all depends on your surface where you're at. That's why if you're going to looking to buy property, build a custom home, especially if you're going to be on a lot of property, so there's no other houses really close to you, you always want to get the person that looks at that property for you. You know, you do your soil test and everything as part of your due diligence because you want to know, you know, there's all kind of hidden costs. Once you get out of the ground from here up, as long as prices don't go up on materials, you pretty much have a budget and know where you're going to be at. No changes and no increases in materials. Pretty much know where you're going to be. But getting out of the ground is it's not the hardest part, but it's the most budget killer part, in my opinion, because you might dig and you hit rock that you gotta blast or that you can't do anything with, or whatever the case may be, before you even really get started. Lots of variables with that. Anyway, we just need to come out here and check some things out. So I just want to show everybody, you know, what this part looks like, what you expect. And the job site will look, you try to keep it organized and clean, not only for safety, but just knowing where your material's at and everything. But it is going to look crazy until, you know, the last couple weeks of construction, because there's just, I mean, there's always going to be stuff going on, stuff around. Probably be a week and a half before we really get started out here on the foundation part of coming up with the block. Casey pulled off of some other stuff to take care of this for me and to do the foundation for the project I'm working on for Chris. So this part is just delayed a little bit while it catches up, and we can get going. All right, I'm gonna walk around and do some final cleanup, you know. Want the job site to stay, you know, neat and clean, because it's a representation. What is it? Old saying, the look is half the taste. So that kind of applies. You want to keep things nice and neat. Back out here with Casey and Gene, starting on this big project. We got a 5,000 block to start with. See how far that takes us. Got the time lapse going on the REOLINK. We get, they're all on, I have people ask a lot about the REOLINKs. We use them at the farm too and on every job. And they connect to the cell towers, just like your phone would. And we get data using a company called Flexiboom. Link in description. They've been great to us. Data's always worked great. So if you're needing something like that, they handle, I believe they have for phones now too. So hit them up and give them a little shout out. And the people at REOLINK, I haven't gotten a new camera from REOLINK in a while, but they were all of the ones I've got are still working. So I'd like to report back on things that I've tested that are still operational. They're just getting set up today, getting a plan going, and they'll have a load of crews out here starting tomorrow. Look at that, just like that, it's like magic. Stuff starts happening. So back out, Gene and Casey, been out here getting it done. We've had a ton of rain. I know y'all hear me say that all the time. Right, guys actually working on a Sunday. Look at our lake. Oh man, look at that. The dirt out here is perfect for a pond. He wants to put a big one in the back. He's not gonna have any problems. We'll have to pump all that out, but no reason to do it right now. It'll just fill back up with the next storm. Came around here, filled this top row. This mesh goes under there, so these only get filled, and then you got the little ladder bar. The wall along this side of the bowling alley will be pretty tall because we're in the ground, probably 4 courses, and then we're going to come up about another 4 to match this, or 5. We'll probably fill, I'll probably bring the truck out, we'll probably fill that wall on there. We'll have to do a lot of waterproofing. All right. So they leave this like this because this ends up running down through here, and this is the breezeway. So you see which is now enclosed, but you see the footings on either side. Come here, so this comes around like this. Goes around. These are just thickened slabs, so when we get our flat slab height set, we'll pour all this into a monolithic slab there. This is nothing. This is backyard we're standing in now. That's all house, and then that's the little game building there. Pool's gonna go over here somewhere. What do you think, Casey?
Oh yeah. along.
Say it's easy to hold a camera, ain't it?
Okay. Coming along.
You ready, Gene?
Always, always.
All right, well, I'm gonna stay out of their way so they can keep getting something done. Come out, check on progress, shoot some video, and just make sure to stay ahead whenever anything is needed. It seems like we're pretty good on everything right now. We got enough mud, we got enough sand, got enough block. What do you think, Gene? 2 weeks? That's the construction answer, right? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
I always say 2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. Let's fly the drone, see what it looks like.
I was so comfortable with both of my feet on the ground until you came around and flipped my world upside down. Suddenly I can see all the places that we could go. All the shadows start to glow. When I'm with you, it's magical.